How you doing? My name is Jose Risi. I will be showing you how to implement a trigger, how to use packages, and how to use procedures and functions within that package, all utilizing the trigger. We did similar things in class, but this is a different way of doing it. It sort of shows you how to do things transactionally and instead of in batch or by calling objects. This makes things happen automatically. The first thing I'm going to show you is a trigger, which is Project 1 Client Update. First off, let me give you a brief overview of the environment that I'm running. I'm running a virtual machine, Windows 2003 server with Oracle 10G. The quickest way to get the version that I'm running is by running the universal installer. Wait for that to load. You see all these little icons, all this stuff is VMware. Databases don't matter where you run them, they run anywhere. But VM allows you to make it portable, so you can take an image of a database and replicate it. Saves a lot of time. You can see I don't have all the resource power in the world, so this is taking a little longer to load than I thought. While that loads, I'll show you what environment I'm running what application I'm running the SQL and the PL SQL. This is Oracle SQL Developer. You can find Oracle SQL Developer. Looks like the Oracle Windows is about to load right now, but we'll wait that out. And if you go to oracle.com, you hover over downloads. You can hover over or click it, but if you hover over it, you have immediate access right here to Oracle SQL Developer. You accept the agreements. You're going to have to create an account afterward. I suggest downloading Oracle SQL Developer 32-bit for Windows with the JDK. This right here. This is crucial because you're going to have to configure some stuff if you get this version. That's if you're hurting for space, 30 megabytes, yeah, you go with that one. If you have Windows 7, you can use this version right here. I do know Windows 7 has a compatibility version, so it can run 32-bit apps. So this one will work. That's just fine. I'll show you another way to get to it. If you do click downloads accidentally, you will find SQL Developer under Developer Tools. Look at the list of all tools Oracle supports, and gives us for free. And SQL Developer is right here. Data modeler obviously used to model stuff within the database. So let's close that out. This is the universal installer I tried to bring up earlier. If you click installed products, you'll have your database info. So we're running 10.2.0.10. Okay. You can also uninstall database through here. This is the suggested way. Before you remove it, I suggest delete all your databases because you will have residue files. Makes it more difficult. Okay, so let's close this out. Let's get back to what we came for. Okay, trigger. What is a trigger? A trigger causes an action when it meets the criteria. Just like when somebody pulls a trigger, a bullet comes out. When a trigger is called, it does an action. So a trigger looks very similar to all the other PL SQL statements we've been using to create procedures and functions. So it's create or replace, trigger. You name your trigger. This has many options. This has before or after. And it also has on insert, delete, and update right here. And the on is on the table that we're using, which is right here, project client. It has one value, one row. This is some table. It looks similar to the ones you've been working with, but it's not quite exactly. And then it's for each row statement. If you don't have it there, then it's not for each row, obviously. But do some research on trigger. This stuff is pretty nice. Obviously, we have a begin and an end block. And we have an if statement that's comparing values. I have an or statement, so if any one of these is true, then we will call week 1, task 1, calculate gross net. And we will be passing it a new rate, new hours, new gross, new tax, and a new net. New net. These are the columns we have in the database, in the table. You can also view it through here. Makes it real easy to create tables. And let me show you give you a glimpse of what the package week 1 task 1 looks like. This is a procedure within the package, and it's right here. It's showing you this stuff. This is the definition. This is the header stuff. These procedures have to match exactly within the body. So whatever you see here is also in here. And let me give you guys an example of what the functions look like. So we have one that calculates the tax. We pass it the gross, and then returns the tax. Function, 2 variables, begin, return, calculate net. Same thing, variable, gross minus tax, return the net. Returns 1 value. And we use return to return that value. Okay. So in this procedure with it, which is inside a package, don't look at a package as anything fancy. A package just stores a collection of objects that mean something. They normally have something in common. They don't have to be the same type of object, but they normally work towards the same thing. So we all know that we're dealing with calculating the gross net. So we utilize all those functions below it. Obviously, to update it, we have 3 lines in our calculate gross net, and each one calls a function. Right? View gross out. Okay. I don't have any update statement in here because I did it in a nifty way. I'll show you how this happens. These 3 right here are out values. You will notice that right here. Out, out, and out. So when they receive their values, once the procedure's done, these values are returned back to the calling program. The calling program in this case was an update statement. So we're passing in the new rate and the new hours, and then the result that's returned, let me try to match this up as best as I can. Facilitate the understanding of this. Close this out. Okay. We pass 2 values, and then these are automatically available to us because we're in the trigger. New and old. New is the new values that the trigger has detected are about to be inserted into the database. Old is the old values that are available to you prior to updating the statement. So new rate, new hours goes in right here. P hours goes in, P rate goes in. We then take P hours, P rates, pass it to calculate gross, and then V gross comes back out, and it is now on here. So whatever value this calculate, it's here now. Same goes for tax, same goes for net. So at the end of this happening, because the new value is on this new, the trigger automatically updates the table with those values for you. Pretty cool way to not have to do extra work. I'm all for minimalizing. When you have so much code and it's not organized and it's not modular, then it's a lot tougher to maintain and a lot tougher to expand on. So I'm all about keeping it short and simple. So let's go in this table. We can write the update statement, or we can just go in the table and update it. You'll see, let me close this out right here. You'll see the update statement when we run it. We are going to change the rate to 75. This is going to severely drop all this other stuff. So once we commit this, as you can see, the numbers just severely dropped. If I up the hours to 100, then the numbers go up. So I will show you guys through an update SQL command, how to do this. I'm gonna open up a worksheet. A worksheet is just like anything you would write anything on. So let's format this, make this easy to read. Okay. Because we're in this application, it has a lot more information than we do. When we're updating to that table, we don't need this. We will need this where clause though. We only have one client ID, but for the sake of making this easy, I will copy it. I'll add a row, and I'll make this guy Joe Dirt. Make his 100. This won't go through the statement because this is an insert. What's going on right here? As you can see, the application created the insert statement for me based off the values I submitted. So we know that Joe Smith's client ID is 2. So we're going to go back to our worksheet, and we will type in client ID. Cool thing about SQL Developer is that if you start typing, it'll get things done for you. So we know he's 2. So we're gonna update his rate back to 50,000. That's an expensive guy, man. And then we can run our statement. One row updated. It's not permanent yet because we haven't committed it, but you'll see the changes automatically. I can roll this back if I wish, but we will commit this. I can either type commit or I can just press this little button right here. Commit, and it's committed. So what I've just showed you is how to update a table through a trigger. Pretty nice, pretty neat. Rate's 225. We make it 400. It should be double, I think. They got 50. So this works. That's what a basic update statement looks like. I've showed you how to use a trigger. Remember, this is many options. I'll show you what it looks like in a wizard. If you want to create a trigger, so you can name your trigger. You can use it on insert. You can also do it on delete. You can do it on update. You can change the names of old and new to whatever you'd like. You can make it a statement level. You can make it a row level. And you can make it a before and after. Also change the tables. You can create it and have it disabled upon creation if you don't want it to be enabled immediately. So you have a lot of flexibility when it comes to triggers. I'll show you a page. Let's find a page on somewhere on the internet that gives us information on triggers. The way I like to search for things, I do Oracle, I'll do 10G, and then I put a plus sign. You don't need the plus sign, but immediately upon triggers, look at that, Oracle triggers. And then Oracle has some docs on this stuff, coding triggers. They do have some limitations, like you'll find them. You'll get some nasty little errors. But I know you can't select from the table you're updating within a trigger. That's a basic one that a lot of people forget about. But other than that, it's normal PL SQL stuff. These are things you need to know if you're going to be dealing with the Oracle database. But that is all I have for now. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at jose.risi@gmail.com. And I'll be glad to show you guys the ropes on a few of these things. All right. Adios, and enjoy your next semester.